Uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! Well, hello there, humans of his earthlings, if you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and whoever you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it to. Welcome back to the channel, I'm Bushka, and today we're going to be talking about the Dirty Mortal. You heard that right, the Dirty Mortal. The Mortal is basically a loadout that was synonymous with Soul Mortal. What about this guy? I'm like, I'll just have a chat to you, and he starts punching me. I'm like, dude, what are you even doing? It was synonymous with the Soul Mortal. He used to run the AK and the DP28 on Erangel, and indeed pull massive numbers, and still does, in terms of YouTube views. And it was a loadout that was really his. And I like to run a variation of that loadout, particularly when I'm doing solo duos or solo squads. And I call it the Dirty Mortal. And that's because I replaced the AKM and the DP28 with a M762 and a DP28. You then have other variations on that, which is the Filthy Mortal, which is the Graza and DP28, and then the Disgusting Mortal, which is the Mark 14 and DP28. But at that point, you're kind of just running a Mark 14 with a sidearm. This combo is renowned for being super versatile. And one of the things that it brings to the table is it's a 7.62 combo. Now, the 7.62 round in Pubg Mobile is all about the base. It has a massive big dose of damage, 47.9 versus the 40.9 on a 5.56 AR. And this allows you to run a DP that is more DMR than CQC, but at the same time have 47 rounds on switch with recoil like this. I mean, phew, that's the kind of recoil you want. The DP28 is famous for this recoil. The dinner plate, I've done plenty of videos on it, but the dinner plate, the double penetration, whatever you want to call it, the round is reasonably decent in terms of shell velocity. All your 7.62 ARs are about 700 meters a second or so, and that enables you to tap fire very effectively. You can do little 2 or 3 round bursts. He's hill glitching there, which is making it very, very tough to hit. You can see he's behind a hill. And then I hit him, but the render decides that doesn't give you a hit marker. I don't know, sometimes the game doesn't want you to win. So if you want to think of it like this, a Mini 14 has 45 base damage. The DP28 has 47 base damage. And yet you can use a DP28 in very much the same manner as a Mini 14. Slightly less, I know it sounds kind of funny, but you can fire a Mini 14 faster, even though it's not full auto, because there's so little recoil in a Mini and the shell is so light. It's a 5.56 round. So the Mini, you can really step on it and fire more rounds. But the DP, you can do these lovely little 2-3 bursts and things will happen. And it works a treat. And if you put a 6X on it, that's even better. And then, of course, you've got the M762. Now, it's the perfect blend for me. I love the 762. It's my favorite AR. And it's the perfect blend of rate of fire and round damage. It's got a 45.9 base round damage, but the same exact rate of fire as a 5.56 AR. As in, it will clear a target faster because it's got more damage in the rounds, but it also has the same rate of fire as an M416. And whether it's on 90 frames or 60 frames, smooth extreme or whatever, it does the job every time. So this gives you just incredible versatility in situations where you have to deal with more than one player. And that's why it's great to have someone in your squad run. I mean, look at it if you lie down. The recoil is absolutely a joke. And it's great to run one of these if someone in your squad is running a DP. This is the old school Mortal loadout, the AK and the DP28, because I haven't found that M762 yet. But if someone in your squad is running this loadout, they are able to output so much damage because there's enough. I mean, having nearly 90 rounds of 7.62 without needing a reload is an awful lot of damage to put on the table. And it can be put on the table in a variety of ways. You can be squeezing it out like this at range, or you can put a red dot on it. And one of the other things it has going for it is that with a red dot and aim assist, it will help you with headshots, especially at that 50 to 75 meter range. Now, the AK is a very tricky weapon to get working. The AK has what you might call a super high level of RNG. One of the things that the AK does best is, that guy was screwed coming and going. He was going to get killed with the AK, or he was going to eat the grenade. But one of the two was going to happen. Good on him for pushing, by the way. What the AK does is it has huge headshot damage, right? Massive headshot damage. And if you think that everyone starts at 0, and this is why the AK sometimes is just broken. While how many times do you get hit with an AK in close range? And you're like, my AK never does that for me. If you hit headshots with an AK, you're monstering. Every round starts at 0. So the first round from an AK, the first round from an M416, the first round from an Uzi, they all start at 0. And the first entry in the diary from an AK says 47.9, okay, as a base round. And if you're hitting headshots, that's like 100 damage if you hit a no helmet wearing headshot. So bang, instant death to a hot drop. Or if you've got a level 1 helmet or a level 2 helmet, the AK just shreds that kind of armor. What doesn't happen very much for the AK is that you catch people up when you're missing shots, because the AK has an absolutely horrific rate of fire. The time to fire is just terrible, and that's why I much prefer running the barrel. The barrel's rate of fire is so stupidly fast, and you're down when you're firing at the barrel. The time to clear a level 2 vest is like 0.25, and that's like Graza levels. Absolutely like Graza levels. Graza. My God, I need to learn how to pronounce this once and for all. Don't tell me in the comments. I've had too many people talk to me about it, but we will cross this bridge and sort things out. So, even though it's a tried and true loadout, the old Mortal loadout, the Dirty Mortal is awesome for the current meta. It features the ability to spam, suppress. I stopped firing there because I'm like, the guy's got to be dead. Seriously? He's not dead? What the hell? No, I just tap him on the foot and he falls over. Like, it was so freaking close. The Dirty Mortal, you doity rat. The Dirty Mortal is an absolutely awesome loadout, and one that I highly recommend that you start running and rocking with. If you are into solo duos or solo squads, this is a fantastic way to play the game. And this was a very, very weird end to a duos game. I just guess this guy's going to be there, and voila, we get the knock, and then I'm going to push up and throw him a little thingy. I'm like, he's going to be upstairs reviving, but no, he's thrown a molly, and then I get stuck in the doorway on my own thing, my own little ESP hack, and I just lived through that. Like, check that out. That is so close. So you want to run like a red dot on your barrel or a 3X, but I mean, it's redundant if you're running a DP28. And then with the DP28, you want to run a 3 or a 4, maybe even a 6. I love running it with a 6. Like, with a 6, it is truly like a DMR where you are just tapping out. Like, tap, and you can hit headshots and then a body shot in the same round. Just go like... Yep, thanks very much for rolling in, Mr. Elvinia. Thanks for your 8X. A little bit late now. There's only 4 of us left, but whatever. We'll do our level best to make the most of that. We'll go back here to these guys, right? And these are the last 2 left alive. I think the other person, the 4th, is a bot. Like me. He's a bot. He's a bot. And then we smoke up that. So what I want to do here, because if you look where the circle is, I'm actually going to smoke that up so I can jump on the roof. And then I'm going to be inside the circle on top of the roof, overlooking them. And they are now in all kinds of trouble. Like, they don't get this. You don't come out of this. This is, you've given up way too much of an advantage when you're about to be in the blue, inside a building, and there's a guy looking at the only window on the way out. And to be fair, I think these guys are both fairly new players. Which, I mean, you can only fight the guys that the server gives you. And unfortunately for them, I've been playing for a while. Like, dude, what is going on here? This is actually pretty nasty. The finish. They're not sure where I am now. They just don't know. They just don't know. The poor guys. And we're going to get rid of that dude. And then I'm going to go out and camp the very corner of this wall. I'm pretty sure he's right there. I'm like baiting him, trying to get him to come out and have some fun. I am on all chat, talking to these guys the whole time. This is from the live stream, actually. And I nearly blow this just by being a silly asshole. But here we go. Going to get loaded up on the corner over here. Here he comes. He's got no idea, the poor guy. I'm going to tap him in the head. It's like, what? Is he inside? I think he's on that corner. He thinks I'm on the corner, the other corner of the building. I'm going to go to hell for that. Bye for now. Oh my God.